Next item we have is to discuss appointments of members of the Farmland Preservation Ranking Committee. Just as an update for you, Commissioner says you recall Commissioner Saxon and I met on 2 occasions, and we had members of the NRCS here at the board meeting to make a presentation on the Farmland Preservation program and the funding and how that is handled. Mark, in summary, and help me with this if you would, but in summary, the met with the committee on 2 occasions and came up with some criteria for selection of farms, made some recommendations for potential individuals to serve on this ranking committee, and the fact that the normal notifications for farmers go out if they have an interest in making an application for the funds, if they're available from the federal level. Usually sent out in July, come in the fall, usually by September 30th time, and then the committee that would be appointed to rank those would work after September 30th and have those rankings recommendation to the board sometime, I think it was late November or early December, I believe was the timing of that. Just as another update too, to my knowledge, the federal farm bill has not been approved, and
it's in the House.
Well, it's in the House right now, still waiting for consideration at that point. So I don't think anyone knows what kind of funds may be available in the federal farm bill effective October 1 at this point. But at any rate, should there be funds available, the ranking committee could operate and work. The timeline that we're talking about is having that done by September 30th, and the folks that we talked with and visiting with each of you, the folks we talked with, meaning the committee that we met with, recommended several names and individuals to serve on this ranking committee. I contacted, of course, each of you and asked you your thoughts on who you might recommend, and then thought then that if we appointed the committee, it would appoint them to staggered terms, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, and then beginning next year, when one of that member's term runs out, we start accepting the public process for the application process on serving on the committee. So that, Mark, did I leave anything off on this?
No, I would also like to point out, though, and you mentioned earlier that the criteria was already in place. It's a state and federal criteria, and what we did is we reviewed those criteria that were in place to make sure that they were, that we didn't have to do anything to those and modify them whatsoever, that the best farm would rise to the top, basically, based on the criteria that the state and federal government's already got imposed.
Questions that the board members has on Mark Ryan?